Fox News. Breaking news.
President Trump just drew a line in the sand that Chuck Schumer as... You want to take two? 5, 4. President Trump just drew a line in the sand that has Chuck Schumer absolutely panicking. The commander-in-chief announced he will not sign a single bill into law until Congress passes the Save America Act. And here's the bombshell the Democrats never wanted you to hear. Schumer just accidentally admitted the real reason they're fighting this bill so desperately. He said it would remove 20 million people from the voter rolls. 20 million, let that sink in. Why would requiring proof of citizenship remove 20 million people unless those 20 million people aren't actually citizens? Yes, the mask just flew completely off. Now, this is not just about legislation. This is about whether your vote actually counts. Think about it. You show ID to buy beer, board an airplane. You even need it to get into the Democrat National Convention, but Democrats are fighting tooth and nail to make sure you don't need to prove you're a citizen to vote in American elections. Why? Because they've been gaming the system for decades. And President Trump is about to shut it down permanently. And Scott Presler just revealed 84% of all Americans support voter ID requirements. That's 76% of Democrats. That's right, 76%. 82% of Latino voters, 85% of white voters, 76% of black voters. When has 84% of America ever agreed on anything? This is a national consensus being blocked by a handful of desperate politicians who know their power depends on keeping our elections vulnerable. Your community, your children's future, the very survival of our constitutional republic, it all hangs in the balance right now. And speaking of national survival, there is a developing story out of Washington that the legacy media wants to make sure you never see. As Iran destabilizes the Middle East and President Trump executes Operation Epic Fury, the federal government just made a move that could reshape America's security posture forever. And here's the truth they don't want you to know. Our nuclear subs, our warheads, our next-gen power grid, aircraft carriers, all of it depends on uranium. And we import almost every single pound of it from foreign nations, many of them hostile. You see, it's not just about energy independence. This is about survival, because a nation that can't power its own military doesn't stay a nation very long. That's why smart investors are looking at atomic minerals trading as ATMMF in the United States and ATOM in Canada. You see, they're positioned in America's uranium future. Do your own research. There is an exclusive briefing that has been prepared just for you. It's exclusive to Next News viewers only. It's linked down below. But understand this. Securing our nuclear supply chain is a matter of national security. Now back to the fight that will determine whether American citizens actually control American elections. This is what Schumer let slip that changes everything. He admitted on camera that passing the Save America Act would purge voter rolls using systems set up by Elon Musk and Doge. He's terrified of artificial intelligence catching all the fraud. House Leader Steve Scalise put it perfectly. This bill simply says, show a picture ID, prove your citizenship, that's it. And Schumer is calling basic election integrity Jim Crow 2.0. The desperation is palpable, my friends. And I'm going to show you exactly what these Democrats are saying. But first, let's take a look at what President Trump had to say on Truth Social, giving props to Scott Presler. Great job by hardworking Scott Presler on Fox and Friends, talking about using the filibuster or the talking filibuster in order to pass the Save America Act. An 88% issue with all voters. It must be done immediately. It supersedes everything else. Must go to the front of the line. I, as president, will not sign other bills until this is passed, and not the watered-down version. Go for the gold. Must show voter ID, proof of citizenship, no mail-in ballots except for military, illness, disability, travel, no men and women's sports, no transgender mutilation for children. Do not fail President Donald J. Trump. Not mincing any words on his Truth Social post right there. His ultimatum sets the stage perfectly. He's making this the litmus test for Republicans, which explains why GOP leaders are now going all in, selling this to the voters. Here's President Trump laying out the 5 common sense measures in the Save America Act just moments ago. Listen. And we will listen in just a moment. Oh, every single time I try to do this, we got to reconnect, and we are reconnecting now. All right, we're going to get President's remarks.
To 100%.
There we go. There we go.
We don't want men playing in women's
No, we
sports.
don't,
No,
Mr. President.
so those 5 things. 5 things. Voter ID, citizenship, mail-in ballots, no mail-in ballots. Right? We don't want men playing in women's sports. That's got to be about close to 100%. We don't want men playing in women's sports, and no transgender mutilation of our children. Now, that should be the easiest thing to get past that you've ever had. Each one, it's best of Trump. Those are best of Trump. I have some that are very popular, but I wouldn't put them in that category. This is the #1 priority. It should be for the House. And I'd like to ask Tom, Steve, Mike, all of you, if you would, I'd like to have you go back and Lisa, hello, darling. She was screaming her affirmation of what I said. The kid went wild. She was so happy that somebody finally said, let's vote on this. Lisa, you're going to get it done. Okay, I'm going to count on you. Forget the men up here. I'm going to count.
Deal.
But it's actually a matter in a serious way of national survival. We can't have these elections going on like this anymore.
Nope. No more repeats of 2020, right? Can we say that now on YouTube? I want to thank House Republicans for passing another common sense measure. To me, the easiest of all, the Save America Act. Because, of course, the House has already passed it.
But I want to thank House Republicans for passing another common sense measure. To me, the easiest of all, the Save America Act, to protect our sacred American. Look at this. Look. It's the easiest thing we have. It's the easiest thing we have. Now, the problem is you call it the Save Act, and nobody knew what the hell the Save Act. Have you been seeing, I've been working overtime the last month. It's called the Save America Act. And I saw Schumer yesterday. We will stop Save America. He's getting killed. They can't do it. And then the things within the Save America are so good.
I love this guy. There will never be another. Steve Scalise, his common sense pitch is what's resonating with voters. This simple comparison is why the next source shows massive GOP surge. The voter surge prediction is about to get very real because Schumer just walked into the trap by revealing the Democrats' true fears. But first, Steve Scalise.
You know, we worked hard to get the Save America Act over to the Senate. Just says prove your citizenship to register to vote and then show a picture ID, just like you do when you get on an airplane or go buy beer. Or, by the way, you could not get into the Democrat convention without showing ID. Every American gets this. If you want to prevent voter fraud, we have got to get the Save America Act to President Trump's desk. We passed it to the House. It's in the Senate. They have got to find a way to get that bill to President Trump's desk if you want to have fair and free elections.
Right.
Fair and free elections. That's all we're asking for. I don't think it's too much to ask. Scott Presser of Senate GOP ramps through the Save America Act that, with the talking filibuster, we're looking at massive GOP voter surge in the midterms.
Rachel, it's 76% of Black American voters, 82% of Latino American voters, 85% of white American voters, 84% of American voters, and total 95% of Republican voters, and 76% of Democrats agree with this bill. When in American history have 84% of Americans ever come together on an issue before? And really, I have a stern and a respectful but a peaceful message. Please, I ask for Senate leadership. I ask for members of Congress, if you want to do right by the American people that duly elected you into the seats that you are in right now, when we gave Republicans the opportunity to lead and be the adults in the room, pass the Save America Act into law. And I think that we are going to see a surge of voters come out in the midterm elections.
What do you think the average voter who's watching right now, the viewers of this show, what can they do to help get this passed, to help you in your efforts?
I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas right now. I ask our beautiful Arkansas voters to call Senators Bozeman and Cotton and court them on behalf of a statement in support of the talking filibuster. I was just in Beaver County, Pennsylvania, and moms and dads, regular, normal voters, they're talking to me about the Save America Act. I have to give a shout out to Senator Dave McCormick, who's in support of the talking filibuster. But Fetterman, we need him on board too. Call my friends at home right now. Well, not right now, but 202-224-3121. That is the Senate Capitol switchboard in support of the talking filibuster.
Yeah, maybe you could tweet out the names of the senators that are holding out on your Twitter account, and people can go and call them. Well, I've always believed that you, Scott, are an American treasure. I've been calling for you to get some sort of Presidential Medal of Freedom. Nobody has done more to inform citizens and empower them with their vote than you have. And if you don't get that award, you should at least get an award for beautiful hair, because you have that as well. So, Scott, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You got it.
Yeah. What do we, chop liver over here at the Next News Network? How long have we been at this game? Like 20 years? Anyway, Chuck Schumer just admitted the real, I mean, look at my hair. Come on. You got to admit I got good hair too. Chuck Schumer just admitted the real reason Democrats are against the Save America Act. He says he'll remove illegals from the voter rolls. This is why he opposes it. He would purge the voter rolls using AI systems set up by Musk and Doge. Okay, dude.
Until the SAVE Act passes. That means the president's asking for total gridlock. The SAVE Act will not pass because it is such a pernicious, nasty piece of legislation. The SAVE Act is Jim Crow 2.0. More than 20 million people would lose their right to vote. And you would need to register either a passport or your original birth certificate. How many people have that? How many people have that? It would eliminate vote by mail. Tell that to a senior citizen who's confined to their home in a wheelchair that they're going to lose their right to vote. And he would purge the voter rolls using an AI system set up by Musk and Doge. So you could show up at the polling place this November and they'd say you're no longer on the rolls. They don't even notify you of it. Millions of people would be purged from the rolls because of this system that Musk and Doge put in. You wouldn't be notified. You'd show up at the polling place and they'd say, sorry, Mr. Jones, sorry, Miss Smith, you're not on the rolls anymore. They don't even notify you. This is one of the nastiest pieces of legislation that I've ever seen.
I want to hear him say, sorry, Pedro, you're not on the voting roll anymore. Yeah. Chuck Schumer warns that if the Save America Act passes, it would remove 20 million people from the voter rolls. What a joke. Oh, wait, Elon Musk weighing in with just an emoji, a thinking emoji. What is Elon Musk thinking about here?
Let's admit the truth. Everywhere people go, they're asked for a Social Security card. In fact, one way to prove you're a bona fide person who can have a job is to ask for a driver's license and a Social Security card. This is an anti-fraud amendment. Over where we go, people say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud. What they are proposing in this so-called SAVE Act is like Jim Crow 2.0.
You got to love those throwback clips of Schumer in his younger years on the Senate floor arguing for ID to stop fraud. Oh, yes. Only when it suits him, right? President Trump weighing in more earlier today.
The only reason you vote against voter ID is because you want to cheat. There's no other reason. They come up with reasons. They say, it's racist. That's their number one, racist. Then you have to explain it, and they're just sitting there mumbling. They can't explain it. And it's actually very insulting when they use the term racist. Very insulting to the people that they're trying to so-called defend, but they're not defending.
President Trump, he knows what it is. It's certainly not racist at all. Is any U.S. voter surprised by this? We must pass the SAVE Act and get rid of mail-in ballots. Our states and cities must clean their voter rolls. What's going on here?
Respectfully, Representative Smith, the fact that there are, in fact, some errors that happen in the system. Every system has errors, and it doesn't mean that there are not safeguards in place. There are safeguards, and you as a clerk, having done many registrations previously, understand that there's a process that you go through. And you can ask NASA. There's no process that doesn't have some error inherent in the system.
Okay, thank you. And you're very right. When I was the clerk, there were lots of errors in the system. That's largely why I am here. I took off a dead voter in my township. And guess what? That dead voter was put back on. Not by me. That was done by the Secretary of State's office. So we need to do a lot of fixing here in our elections. When I was a clerk at Martin Township, there was a family member who at one point was registered at my in-laws' home. And that family member had died nearly 20 years prior. They were put on the rolls at 2020. They were mailed voter application ballots without the authorization to do that. That's the local clerk's job. So I went in there, removed her from the voting rolls because I know firsthand this family member is dead and deceased. Just this past election cycle, lo and behold, that person was put back on the voter rolls and has a card of the early voting location polling that I actually have and can produce. And that's a problem.
Oh my God. Maybe we should just send a message and set up polling locations in graveyards. President Trump announces he's working overtime to get Congress to pass a Save America Act.
Call it the SAVE Act, and nobody knew what the hell the SAVE Act. Have you been seeing? I've been working overtime the last month. It's called the Save America Act. And I saw Schumer yesterday. We will stop Save America. He's getting killed. They can't do it. And then the things within the Save America are so good. But just to
President Trump laying it out. This is what the people want. Very simple. This is very, very simple. This is what the people want. Defiant L's rights. Elon Musk responding with one simple word. Yes. So President Trump, he said it best. And I want you to hear this very clearly. The only reason you vote against voter ID is because you want to cheat. There is no other reason. That is the truth. The establishment does not want spoken out loud. They call it racist. But they can't explain how. They call it Jim Crow, but requiring ID to vote is a standard in virtually every functioning democracy on earth. Chuck Schumer just told you exactly why they're panicking, because cleaning up the voter rolls means removing people who shouldn't be voting in American elections, period. This is why Trump said he will sign nothing else until this passes. If this is the only thing accomplished in his second term, he will have single-handedly saved the republic from decades of election theft. So folks, right now, what you're witnessing is something called history. President Trump is working overtime, dropping bombs overseas in Operation Epic Fury and dropping legislative bombs right here at home to secure our elections forever. Schumer's getting killed on this, and he knows it. 84% of Americans stand with election integrity. The question is this: will your senators stand with America or with the cheaters? Call your senators today. Demand they pass the Save America Act immediately. And speaking of calling, the number on the screen right here, 844-840-4963. Write it down and text raw feed to that number. that will place you exclusively on our private text message list. It's an insider's list. Only individuals who are watching these programs and who type in those words get access to the alerts, the classified intel, the exclusive videos, everything that you will never miss a notification on, because it's a message from me to you. Now, here's what I want you to do now. After you've done that, I want you to share this video with everybody who cares about free elections. I want you to hit the subscribe button. I want you to ring that notification bell so you never miss these critical updates. And don't forget to check out the Next News merch shop down below this video to show your support for America First journalism. And now I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you believe that requiring voter ID is common sense? A simple yes or no. Stay informed, stay free. I'm Gary Franchi, and you're watching the Next News Network.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this. Share this now.